In the last video, we saw how the verb ordered the words of this poem in a meaningful way by pointing to a subject and establishing an action that is received by direct objects. Venus, you fill with life the sea, the lands. But there are still words in this poem that haven't found their place here in our translation. And fittingly, it is the word Venus that pulls these other words in. Let me explain. It's Latin grammar that orders these words in a meaningful way. And according to the grammar, Venus is described by the adjective alma, nourishing Venus. Alma Venus is in what we call the vocative case. The name of this case is derived from the Latin verb vocare, meaning to call or to summon. When a noun is in this case, it signals to us, the readers, that the noun is being called upon or summoned. And because English doesn't have a vocative case, sometimes translators will express this with the exclamation "O," as in, "O nourishing Venus." And so other nouns here, in the vocative case, are linked to Venus by this grammatical force, if you will, as well as a couple pronouns. In grammatical terms, we'd say these nouns are in apposition and are used to further describe Venus. And in poetic terms, well, we might say they are other manifestations of Venus. I think Lucretius would appreciate that take on grammar. And so, Venus and genitrix, meaning mother, are united by the vocative case. And along with it comes Aeneadum, and we get the translation, mother of the Roman race. Secondly, Venus and voluptas, meaning delight, are united by the vocative case. It brings with it the phrase, of men and gods. Also linked to Venus are the two words quae. These are what we call relative pronouns, and are used here to point back to Venus and mark off special phrases which provide further description of her. These relative pronouns appear here in their feminine form, quae, which tell us that they are referring back to a feminine noun, and that, of course, is Venus. Both of these clauses use the same verb, concelebras, you fill with life. So the first clause can be translated as, you fill with life the ship-bearing sea. Let's take a closer look at the adjective in this clause. Navigerum is a compound adjective built from two Latin words. You can see in the first half the beginnings of our English words navy and navigate. Navi comes from the Latin noun navis. Navis is a feminine noun meaning ship. The second half of the word comes from the verb gerere, meaning to carry, to bear. Together they create a word meaning something like ship-bearing. The second clause can be translated as, you fill with life the fruitful lands. Once again, Lucretius uses a compound adjective. Frugi, from frux frugis, means fruit or produce. And ferentis, from fero fere, meaning to bear, to bring, to produce. When united, they create a word meaning something like fruit-bearing or fruitful. One scholar that I read made me think that these compound adjectives contribute to the meaning of this poem in deeper ways. First of all, these words, possibly made up by Lucretius, resemble the vocabulary of earlier Greek and Roman poets. Imitation of earlier, famous poets seems important to Lucretius, and all epic poets for that matter, because it placed them in the literary tradition. But it's also interesting to think about how these words contribute to the meaning and message of the poem. De Rerum Natura is a vehicle through which Lucretius expresses the Epicurean philosophy that all things are made up of small elements that join together, break apart, join together in new forms, separate again, and on it goes. So it is fitting that Lucretius takes word pieces and joins them together to create new adjectives. Even more, these words are used to describe the work of Venus, the goddess of love whose uniting force drives creation. So let me end this video with the translation of these Latin words by Martin Ferguson Smith. Mother Veneus's people, delight of human beings and the gods. Venus, power of life. It is you who beneath the sky's sliding stars, in spirit the ship-bearing sea, in spirit the productive land.